What's up, my almond joys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Almond and you guys should totally subscribe. So we're in a little bit of a different setup as far as where I film my sit down videos. We're in my bedroom, which I normally don't film in here, but just for a different vibe, I decided to be in here to do this. Now, as you guys all know, last year I did a freshman high school advice video, and so it felt only right to come back and do a sophomore high school advice video. So that is exactly what you're watching. If you guys do see me looking down, it's because I have my laptop here and I'm looking at my notes. So everything that I'm about to say, all the advice that I'm about to give, it's from my own personal experience and just some advice that I felt like would benefit you guys going into your sophomore year of high school. I am a graduate. I have been out of high school for a while now. I'm actually about to graduate from college, so you can trust me when it comes to this advice. Let's go ahead and get started. Now, before I give you guys like the real nitty-gritty advice, I would say you should take a moment to contemplate. Think about your freshman year. What went well? What went not so well? Like, let's actually seriously think about these things. I always find like reflection is really great, especially when you're going to a new grade level. That way you can see what you need to work better on, what you need to apply yourself more in, or also you can see like what areas you were struggling in, and also if some things worked out, you can continue to keep that going even in your next grade level, because I mean, if something's not broke, why fix it? So yeah, and you can think about some decisions that you made, whether that was academically or in your personal life, whatever, but just kind of think about how did it affect you? Was it a positive or negative type of impact? And either way that panned out, you can be able to decide if you want to continue in that same course since it worked out positive, or you can be able to take a moment to reflect and realize, no, I don't want to do that again, and you can avoid making the same mistake over again. Now let's talk about academics, grades, all the stuff that they say is super important when you are in high school. Now I will say that you need to pick classes that are harder than your freshman year classes, because let's be honest, school is all about progressing. And if you really want to get better at school, get better grades and things like that, and just get kind of like a higher GPA, then having harder classes will definitely help you out. And also, obviously, as you progress in school and your grade level goes higher, your workload and your classes, those are naturally going to be harder. But if you do have in mind, like if it's your goal to pursue further education outside of high school, like for example, if you want to do college, if that is one of your goals, then I would recommend getting in like an AP or honors class, because that's definitely going to help a lot. And when I say this, I don't mean to get only AP classes, only honors classes. I just mean a few. An emphasis on the few, because if you sit there and give yourself all these super hard classes, for one, you're going to get overwhelmed, and 9 times out of 10 you're not going to do so well like academically. And it also just makes high school and the experience a little bit more of a bummer, because now you're worried about your grades, now you're worried about all these hard classes that you can't keep up with. So just do a few, and even though it's only a small amount of maybe AP or honors classes, it is still going to help you a lot. Now here is a little kind of, I guess you can say, obvious one. I know some of you guys are going to be like, duh, Almond, we already knew this. But you know, your GPA is very important, especially if, like I said, you do plan on furthering your education, going to college, potentially after high school. So it should always be your aim to get good grades, no matter what grade level you're in, freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, whatever. You always want to make your aim to get good grades in your classes and to not slack off, not fall behind. So get good grades, because good grades equal a good GPA, and a good GPA equals something that looks really good on your college application. Now this one right here is like a do or die, I have to say. I feel like the level of your seriousness in high school also strongly depends on if you do plan on going to college afterwards, or if you want to finish out high school like on a really good note, like, and be at your best academically. If you don't care, like if you have it in your mind that it's not that important to you, then a lot of these things are just going to go right over your head. I'm just going to say that right now. I know from personal experience, freshman year, I was not serious about it. All these things went right over my head. But definitely the rest of high school, I was like, okay, gotta get serious. I really got to get these good grades. So this next one is really important, about finding a good study routine and something that you're gonna stick to, not something that you're only gonna do when there is a test coming up, because that was my problem, is I would only try to study when I had a test or something coming up, and it never worked for me because I didn't have a good habit of studying. And And so if you already have like a habit of studying and you get yourself into a routine, when a test comes along, it's actually going to do you some good because you've been studying all along and you also have this routine that like works well for you. And sophomore year is just the beginning. I mean, you're coming from freshman year, so sophomore year you're going to think it's a little bit harder, but so is junior and so is senior year. It's all going to get more challenging and academically intense. That is how school is set up to be, so it's something that you should already be expecting. And that's why it's even more so important that you have these good study habits that can like help you. Now, if you don't plan on going to college after high school, that is totally fine. I'm not trying to make you feel bad about it. I'm not trying to, whatever. This is a no judgment zone. Judgment free completely here. Okay, we love everybody and everybody has their own path to go on, so no judgment. But I said that to say that this tip right here is really for those who are considering college after high school, because if you are thinking about college, then obviously at this point in your life, you're kind of starting to think about what's going to look good on my GPA. What is going to make those colleges actually want me at their college? And I have watched a ton of like college advice videos just to kind of see what everybody said, because I don't want to say the same things to you guys, but at the same time, like, sometimes good advice just needs to be repeated and just need to be reminded. I've seen a lot of them say that you need to get in a lot of clubs and a lot of like activities and things like that, which I can see what they're trying to say, but I also don't think that that is entirely great. However, I personally disagree with this one because I feel like you're just going to be overloading and overworking yourself, and you're going to end up overwhelmed and tired just being involved in all of these clubs and activities, especially if some of them they're not really your favorite, you don't actually enjoy them, but you're only doing them because they need to be on your college application for it to look good. Yeah, so you're going to be overwhelmed and you're not really going to be having fun. And the thing to know is that when colleges look at your application, when they do look at you being in clubs, it's more so about quality than quantity. So if you are in a bunch of these clubs but you're terrible at them, that comes up as more of like a red flag than a green one, because I mean, being a jack of all trades but a master of none, that's not a flex at all. So I mean, I'm just saying that. Obviously, if you still want to go and join all these clubs, even if you don't love them, okay, but I'm just gonna let you know that that doesn't really help you out. In fact, it's actually hurting you. But my personal advice is to join clubs and activities that you enjoy and focus on the things that you love, and those things will look good on your job application. Why did I just say job application? Those things will look good on your college application. Water break. My next piece of advice is to possibly consider getting a job. Now, not all sophomores have jobs, and obviously you would have to do this with like your parents' approval. So if your parents don't want you to have a job right now, that is totally fine. When I was in my sophomore year of high school, I did not have a job, so don't even feel bad about it. Like, it's totally okay. And if you personally don't even want to have a job, that is also fine. But I'm just saying, this is just some advice that you can go off of if you are thinking about it, or if it's just kind of crossed your mind a little bit. But yeah, it wouldn't hurt, to get some kind of employment and to have a job and to kind of already be getting that little bit of like work experience. That way you kind of know what you're going into after high school. It'll also just help you to kind of get a little bit of experience of the real world. And as you are inching closer towards your senior year, you kind of have to start thinking about like the real world that you're going to actually be living when you get out of high school. And you got to think about life after high school, because right now I'm thinking about life after college. And I'm not saying you have to get like a super high paying job and all of this type of stuff. No. Even a low minimum wage type of job is just good, and it just kind of gives you a little taste of the work experience. So yeah, now as far as social life, and I really feel like I strongly talked about this in my freshman year advice video, but I mean, the same advice that I gave in my freshman year advice is the same advice that I would give to you about just, social life, is that friends come and go. I mean, that's with anything in life though. Like, you have to understand that that is not something to just know for high school. That's something to know for life, that people come and go, and it may seem like people are going to stay there forever, and the next day they're gone. Like, that's just life, and it does hurt, but you get over it and you meet other amazing people, and life goes on. I just want to say, you know, enjoy high school. It's going to be a great next 3 years for you, and I hope you enjoy it. I hope you have fun. I hope you love it. And I hope that some of this advice was helpful for you guys. But I really just wanted to kind of like not so much generalize the advice that I gave, because I know in my freshman year advice video I did generalize. It was very broad. That advice video literally applies for everyone. But this one I kind of just wanted to just kind of like simplify it a little bit and really just give you guys the meat of the actual advice that I felt like would be really beneficial and helpful to you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Make sure to give a huge thumbs up if this was helpful. Make sure to comment down below. It would warm my heart to know that I helped some of you guys out and gave you some good advice. And yeah, that's essentially the video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out, ALMOND JOY babies. Bye!